Someone had a dream and confused it with reality. When my ex-boyfriend cheated on me, so I went and dated his favorite NBA player. Hello Redditors of the internet, Noble Xenon here, and welcome to r/ThatHappened part 13. Let's get started. So, this next one absolutely happened. Lol, the lady at the grocery store told we look like sisters. She says, "See mommy, don't listen to that inbreed looking punk that you dated that told you you were ugly and old looking. He's full of shit." Laughing emojis. I really don't think there should be any disciplinary actions for that one, lol. The kid ain't lying. And then the whole grocery store said she was speaking straight facts. For this next one, we got an OP who also got busted in the comments for an earlier post where she said that she was 15 2 years ago. OC, my 5-year-old autistic daughter made this. I'm so proud of this. And Just Watching LOL says, yep, he's also active on Teens Meet Teens, LMAO. Hold up. And now we have a magician giving away the tricks of his trade whilst the audience claps. A real hardened criminal right here. I'm a full-time criminal and I love it. AMA. Title says it all. About 8 months ago, I decided to quit my job and go into business for myself. I try and stick with the nice substances. It just makes things better for everybody. I take in anywhere from 2 to 4K a month. But this past 2, I've made over $10,000 for the first time ever. For anybody who hasn't picked up on it yet, I'm a full-time dealer, selling the good stuff. But I did what I had to do to escape the corporate death trap, and I'm never going back. I answer to nobody but myself, and that's how I like it. I trade and barter for essentially everything I need. So yeah, ask me anything. And before you comment bashing my lifestyle choice, if you had the opportunity to make sitting at home, playing video games and getting stoned, would you? Because I'm telling you right now, it's fun as hell and I enjoy every second of it, laughing emoji. Really, you're enjoying every second of it. We go to r/mildly infuriating for this next one. So I bought this sandwich on Uber Eats and I guess my delivery driver got hungry because look, they took a bite out of the sandwich. Dude, this is so easy to fake, you could just take a bite and take a picture. For this next one, watch out guys, he's crazy. The last time some quote feminist came up to me stating I was manspreading, I just yeeted, "How dare you label me a man? I don't identify as such. You are violating my personal safe space." She ran. You just have to be crazier than them. This dude said yeeted. For those of you who have been waiting for a little more next door stuff, here's a post from there, on the Neighborhood app of all places. Jeff says, when I was 18, 2 girls, pretty 20-year-olds, lived beneath me and played heavy metal music all night long till the early hours. After asking them many times to stop playing so loudly after 10 p.m., which I thought reasonable, I lost it. 3 a.m., full blast, I went down and banged on the door so loud they didn't hear me or was ignoring. So I kicked the door in, followed the music into the bedroom and tore the LP from the record player and threw it against the wall. Which is when I saw them both sat naked on the bed looking at me and walked out back to my flat. Best thing I ever did. Oh, and the music stopped too, of course. And now if you go on Amazon and find this suit jacket, the very first review is a 5-star review that says this jacket gets you the ladies. The very first time I wore this jacket, I paired with an all-black shirt, an all-black Skulls tie, black pants, and my black Nike SB shoes. I went to work in like Tupac, all eyes on me. Then I went to the store to get some groceries and I kid you not, this super bad blondie chick with hair that looked like a golden waterfall of follicles started giving me the eye. I'm 36 and this 22-year-old chick just gives me her number and told me to call her. 3 weeks later and we're already eating ice cream together. Get this jacket right now and you too could get all the ladies. Tips Fedora. And now, a Starbucks customer explains how they always use 007 as their name. Do you use a different name at Starbucks? If so, why? And what is the name? Yeah, I have several, but my favorite name is 007. The fact that I'm Asian just makes it even better. It's always fun making people laugh and smile. Barista says, "Hello sir, what can I get for you?" Me, "Let me get a cake pop and a strawberry smoothie." Shaken, not stirred. "No problem, can I get your name please?" 007. "Oh, and don't tell anyone. I'm undercover." Barista smiles. "Yes sir." A few minutes later, Barista yells out loudly, Cake pop and a strawberry smoothie for 007? Everyone turns to look. Me grabs food and looks at barista. I trusted you. Yet you blew my cover! Of course everyone turned to look. They always do in these kinds of stories. For this next one, yeah, sure, this totally happened and not some creative writing Wattpad thoughts. What's your confession? So this guy got me in trouble in the library and I wanted to get him back. In English, we were popcorn reading Romeo and Juliet as a class, and while I was reading, I noticed he was reading a completely different book. So I said popcorn and called him to read the next part to catch him off guard. This MF legit looks up from his book to look me dead in my eyes and recites the next part of the book from memory like WTF. Then, when he finished and picked someone else to continue, he smirked and went back to reading his own book, and it looked like he was hiding a laugh. My blood was boiling. OMFG, he's the worst. Little did they know that this guy actually has all of the literary classics memorized. Hey, if you're enjoying this, then why not hit that like button? If you want to see more, subscribe and hit that little notification bell, and comment if you have something on your mind. And now we have a teen who tames the school T-Rex, makes them a slave, the hell, and then everyone clapped. LOL, I remember this one fat bee was gossiping about me to her T-Rex friend who reminded me of a T-Rex because of the way she moved her hands, and the T-Rex was telling her work BFF the fat bee, who was my 12th grade English teacher, the T-Rex was my 9th grade English teacher, that I was threatening her mom. I didn't know it was her mom. Some old bee was substituting my ex-girlfriend's class and I wanted her to leave, but the teacher wasn't letting her, so I was at the door saying you better let her out, and was kicking the door open cause she was trying to keep it closed while also calling security. Ha ha ha, fun times. Oh, and the fat bee literally dragged me out of her brilliant AP class where literally all we did every single class was copy notes off the projector, just to go have the T-Rex have her little moment and solemnly tell me that I threatened her mother. I was just like, okay. Most teachers hated me, though there was this one great guy. I'm sure I didn't mean it, but I used to tell him he was my slave and just yell at him for a while, just trying to get a reaction out of him, and he literally just ignored me, LOL. Yeah, so funny. I had a few teachers that loved me though, and one I loved a bit too much too, if you know what I mean. And I even somehow fooled people into letting me into the peer advisor program, though they did end up regretting it. Yeah, I'm sure you'd find your cringy antics super hilarious. For this next one, then they gave him a 6-figure salary and taught him the difference between your and your. On r/anti-work, I've gotten 2 jobs before in retail from just saying this as soon as I sat down. Before we begin, I just wanted to say, I'll show up to work on time every day and I won't steal from the business. The first time I used it, the guy said, "Great, you're hired, LOL." Damn, if it's that easy to get a job, then what's the point of an interview? For this next one, unsurprisingly, I've never heard of this person. Whenever I remember the era of my life where I organized citywide school walkouts, used to shut down streets, bridges, and highways, protested in different states, was always giving a speech, attempted to ban school police, called out anyone who tried me, showed up to elected officials' meetings I wasn't invited to, stood in front of police cars, and argued with cops in the streets. A true revolutionary in the making. LMAO, your girl is a freedom fighter if you don't know. Yeah, I'm sure. Meanwhile, in reality, they went to a few local protests, participated in a school walkout like every high schooler in the last 50 years, and went to a city council meeting. It's one thing to want to protest for your rights, it's a whole nother to think that you were the main character and the mastermind behind it all. For this next one, this definitely happened. On r/teenagers, I just saw my teacher typing a horny post for the sub. Listen, it's r/teenagers, they're always posting shit like this. For this next one, file your taxes, they said. I have a bot running 24/7 buying and selling for zero target profit just to waste IRS manpower and money. I print and send the IRS all the documentations about my trades in paper form to stop them from automatizing the process with a computer program. I mix blank pages, double print, ghost print, or mark and write in them just in case they have a way to scan and use some sort of recognition software. That way, they have to look at thousands upon thousands of pages one by one and look at random scribblings and drawn D's while doing their job. Yeah, that'll show the IRS making their workers waste time. Then again, this is 4chan, so it's probably just some made up shit. It's a whole pallet of papers with trades, so I hire a guy to forklift that shit and send it just in the off chance that having to deal with a pallet is troublesome for them. This dude must have dedicated forests for the sole purpose of making the paper required for their taxes. All the documents are numbered, but I pack everything completely out of order in a suspicious number of quotes, as in the lower numbers always happen to be at the bottom of the pallet in case the order of the trades is important. If order is important, they now have to lift boxes and have them laying around before they can even start checking the numbers. My normal trades are also in those pages, so they can't just ignore everything. This costs me thousands of dollars each year. I make sure to send the invoices of how much all the processes cost me on top of the pallet, so that whoever's in charge of it knows I'm wasting the equivalent of 2 months of his waging in asinine stuff on top of his or her time. Must also be one of those individuals who pays fines in pennies. And now, yeah, I'm sure a tutor would tell you that you can give your kids a much better education yourselves. We took the option to homeschool our children after lockdown, when we saw for ourselves how much happier they were. The final decision was taken after my partner spoke to one of my boys' tutors, and his exact words were, "Honestly, you can give them a much better education than we can. They are less stressed, happier, and are given far more room to be individuals. Not what the system wants at all. Bollocks to the system. Oh yeah, and they're not allowed social media. Took that cue from Steve Jobs, laughing emojis." For this next one, she's not the hero we deserve, but the hero we need. Ask me anything. The most caring thing you have done to your family? Well, let's see. My sister was getting jumped and she sent me an SOS message, but at the time I was babysitting my niece and was only in my swimsuit, and so I gave my niece to my neighbor and ran a 30-minute journey in 4 minutes. To then beat the crap out of 4 little boys that are literally only 2 months younger than me but got held back a year. Watch out, we got a badass and the fastest girl alive. For this next one, if he didn't add the arrow, I wouldn't have believed it. First thing someone said to me today, random, you're clearly hot and attractive. Me, what happened to hi? So we just skip the hi part, LMFAO, and just go straight to, yeah, I'm hot. What are you gonna do about it? The proof is in the arrow. This next one almost got run over by a crazed psycho, so I'll use the opportunity to vent about skateboarders' rights. I almost got killed because some asshat decided they owned the road. Here's a copy and paste I sent my girlfriend about it. I was skating in Atlantic Beach and I was chilling in the right lane and saw a car come up behind me. So I switched lanes, and as he got close I kept my flashlight on my phone on, and they came up behind me and passed and slammed on their brakes as they got in front of me. So I went around to avoid hitting the back of his car. As I passed, he sped up and hit me in the opposite lane, and I ended up on the hood. After I got on top, he braked and I jumped off and was able to catch a landing. I ran for my board, which was now in the ditch behind us. I grabbed it and got back on the road to skate down a side street, and I looked left and he was in reverse aiming for me, and then went behind me, went to speed up and missed me again, and I ran into the bushes. He sped up after that. This happened Sunday night, Atlantic Beach on Seminole Road between 18th and 19th Street. F you, whoever that was. People, why the hell do you choose to take anger out on somebody who's just trying to enjoy skateboarding? Holy shit! This next one's just casually running 70 kilometers in a single night and scoring a hat trick the next day. A guy on my hockey team ate an edible, and just as it started to hit, he decided to go for a run. When he finally stopped running, he had no idea where he was. After looking at his phone, he realized he was on the other side of the city, about 35 kilometers away from where he started. So we asked him, "So how did you get home?" "Well, I left with nothing, just my phone, no wallet, no keys, nothing. So I just said screw it and jogged all the way back home." So he did an ultra marathon distance without any sort of training by mistake. When he told us about this, it was at our hockey game. The run had happened the night before. He finished the night with a hat trick, so people are just built differently. These lies are built different. Moving on to a guy on Facebook talking about Will Smith. I'm sure she's already had more than one, laughing emojis, and they can tell Will I did say that, but I'd have kicked his ass if he made fun of a medical condition my wife or any of my family had. But I like them both. I was the very last person to touch Muhammad Ali's hearse when it went into Cave Hill Cemetery. A cop got smart and told me to get the F off the street, but old Russ ignored him, and he said, "Come on, smartass, you're going to jail." Then all of a sudden, Will Smith rolled down his window and Mike Tyson was in the car following the hearse and said, "You get the F out of the street." And I like to see you trying to lock him up at a time someone is paying his respects. We'll have him released before he gets there, lol. Then Will shook my hand and Tyson waved at me. You can find that on video of the funeral as it goes in, lol. They definitely had my back. I'd have loved to see Tyson get out and beat that cop's ass, laughing emojis. And now we have a fellow neighbor who saves tens of astronauts' lives, invents Facebook, and is humble enough not to accept worldwide fame. What, this person's gonna say Mark Zuckerberg stole from them? Someone sends a link to a cool website they found and follow the satellites orbiting Earth. Zoom in. And of course, the storyteller replies, "I remember before even graduating college, Princeton, I was offered to work for NASA developing an internet sort of communication for astronauts. This eventually saved tens of lives and was the inspiration for Facebook, but nobody even knows I had to keep a lot secret." For this next one, free coffee and muffins for everyone! Yay! I always use cash. In a fancy Mayfair coffee shop, they told me they were cashless, but I just said take it or get nothing. They chose to give me my muffin and coffee for free. Big brain moves right there! Be annoying, get free stuff. For this next one, what did the Mormons do to deserve being made fun of in made-up stories? Remembering when I sat by the Mormon kid in middle school, felt a bloody nose coming on, turned to him and said, "All hail Satan," and then he started crying cause my nose started dripping blood. Hilarious. For this next one, oh, I'm sure those boys were impressed by your ego. Are you a manager? Because Karen wants to know your location. This man at age 55-ish was walking through a high-end department store in the town of Watford in the UK. At the time, my daily work wear was a business suit. I worked in direct sales. I'm ex-military and that shows in the purposeful way in which I walk, how I carry myself. So I'm walking through the store and heading towards the mall car park. 10 yards ahead of me, I see two young men, sales assistants. As they see me, they both straighten up and one of them adjusts his tie. Just before I walk between them, I nod and say, "Good afternoon, gentlemen." They both say, "Good afternoon, sir." Then one of them says, "Excuse me, sir, are you a manager?" I stop, turn, smile, and say, "Gentlemen, if you look at the left lapel of your jackets, you will see a small company pin/badge. If you look at my lapel, you will see no pin or badge. Now, you tell me, do I work here?" They had the good grace to look embarrassed and I smiled as I considered the merits of a military background and courage. What is the point of this? I don't. For this next one, sure bud, sure. Hear, hear, as my 6-year-old said this morning, in a world full of Will Smiths, be a Zelensky. And you gotta put up that flag of Ukraine. So deep, so inspiring. And now everyone in a grocery store complains that we can't have ham and cheese sandwiches because Biden, like if the president is in direct control of our prices. Just left the grocery store, the sliced cheese is gone. Oh god, and by that giant Q, you know exactly what kind of forums we're in. Anyway, so I eat a ham sandwich every day for lunch. I throw a slice of either Kraft, Velveeta, or the store brand on it, whichever is on sale when I buy it. Been doing that for years now. Simple, quick, and easy for my daily routine. The rest of my meals are all whole, fresh foods, meats, and veggies, no other grains than the 2 slices of bread each day. Today not only was a loaf of friggin' Wonder Bread $3.50, yes, you heard that right, the cheapest garbage there is, $3.50 a loaf, but the damn cheese was empty. All brands, gone. I'm standing there looking at the shelf like, really? And there's 10 other people doing the same thing. Then one lady says, "Well, this is the world with COVID now." I said, "No, you can thank Biden for this one." She scoffed at me and rolled her eyes. I said, "I bet I can guess who you voted for," and before she could respond, a few other people standing there told her no. This is because of Biden. She got pissed and walked away. It's like the thanks Obama meme all over again. Somewhat of a silly post, I know. I'm just venting because these commie bastards done screwed up my lunch. And then everybody just started collectively chanting USA, USA. This next one is titled, "They're just waiting to see themselves here." A woman blew through a red light this morning, almost T-boning me and hitting 3 kids in the crosswalk. Me being me, I chased her down her job and made her cry. She was a liberal also, so there's a bonus point. Blue hair and everything. Of course you're you. Who else would you be? For this next one, as an actual Irish person, I guess I can never go to Baskin-Robbins if I visit the US. Damn. I don't know what generation Irish I am, as I have several branches from across Ireland. They came before the famine, so it's distant. Ancestry currently says I'm 2%. In America, I'm Irish. I have red hair and green eyes. And in America, I was once refused service in Baskin-Robbins because the worker didn't serve Irish people. He was British and living in America and refused me service. What? And for this next one, just trying to figure out the part I find least believable. Yep, I consider myself a Facebook evangelist since I'm bedridden. I used to go to the streets to minister. Once Jesus sent me to a bar when I was getting ready for church. He put the name Melissa in my head for weeks before, but I didn't know a Melissa. He led me to a specific saloon-type bar. When I walked in, the bartender yelled, "Melissa, I'm not serving you any more alcohol. If you don't shut up, I'll throw you out of here." There was my Melissa. Long story short, she repented right in front of everyone there. She sobered up immediately when I mentioned Jesus. A man had stopped the music and people turned their chairs to watch. No sounds except for my voice and her sobs. She left to go home and get back on her knees. When I stood to leave, the bartender invited me back anytime I wanted to come. Everyone there nodded in agreement. None of them probably ever saw something like that. I waved to them and left. Jesus never led me to another bar since, but I'm sure glad he led me there that night. These people are always turning around, looking at them, nodding in agreement, and it's always in unison. Oops, I really didn't mean to post this, SMH, but whatever. Good morning. Just look at me. Please, I really need the attention. There's like a 5-step process to post a pic on IG. How you didn't mean to post it? This is Facebook. And a pretty old layout of Facebook too. And for this last one, we go to 4chan. Be me. Get yelled at repeatedly by my 2nd grade teacher. Grow up to be a massive dude. Get stronger at the gym. See the teacher out in public again. She's all nice to me. I yell and berate the crap out of her and she runs away scared shitless. This is why I left. Wow, what a Giga Chat. Truly built different. Anyway, I'd like to thank all of my patrons who are definitely built different, especially Benjamin, Spoonie the Rogue, Nightcrawler, Kettle, and Cormandy Bacon Cannon, a jury of jubilantly juggling Jerrys. You can join in the link below, and thank you so much for watching! If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. If you have something interesting to say, don't forget to comment. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. See you guys next time.